Good morning and welcome to the dedication of our newest acquisition of public art, Fieldworks, by Adam Kuby. I'd like to first provide some background on the Nebraska 1% for public art. In 1978, the Nebraska legislature passed into law and declared it to be a policy of the state that a portion of all appropriations made after January 1st, 1979 for capital expenditures would be set aside for the acquisition of artwork to be used in public buildings. The Nebraska Art Council serves as the administrator of the 1% for public art and works with the campus committee. The artwork we are dedicating today is made possible by the Math Science Center of Innovation and Learning Project, better known as COIL. Please join me in welcoming the chair of the Art Selection Committee, Daniel Binkert.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. It's been a pleasure serving on the 1% for Art Committee and seeing this project successfully completed. It's always interesting seeing how these processes go as we try to balance all of the different needs to get them across the finish line. The committee members have been great to work with. Thank you to Dr. Joyce Harvey, Dr. Robert Stack, Stacy Netlighter for the science methods, Trudy Denham providing perspectives from the art department, and Dwayne Jimison, our recently retired publication specialist, who has a long history of art. Doctors Jeffrey Kieskola and Tanya Tibbetts also served on the committee, and they're now teaching at other institutions. It was a lot of fun reviewing the proposals with this group and seeing the possibilities for an installation to complement this wonderful facility. We also had invaluable assistance from Megan Dion with the Nebraska Arts Council. Megan kept us on track throughout and was able to join for the installation last July, and she wanted me to share a few words since she couldn't be here today. She said, "Fieldworks is a striking land work that innovatively transforms this whole lawn through the artist's vision. This art piece, created through the 1% for Art program, will be a persevering method for sharing the stories of this specific region, an educational tool for the Math Science Center of Innovative Learning, and a place to reflect on the beauty and intrigue of Nebraska. It's hard to not have favorites in the 1% for Art collection, but without a doubt, I will look forward to revisiting this piece again and again. And thank you again to Megan Dion for her help." Carrie Gaswick, our Vice President for Administration and Finance, kept us going on the administrative side, and I thank her for all of her help with it. Finally, I want to thank the grounds and maintenance people here at CSC, especially Jim Fitzgerald, our landscape manager, who is working with Adam to add the final touches to this installation. Everyone in grounds and maintenance who helped with the project, again, thank you. I think Fieldworks will serve as a fantastic addition to our growing set of campus landmarks. There is so much to explore with these sculptures, and I encourage everyone to take a walk along the sidewalk or just relax inside for a few minutes here in the building. Take in the curves, the cutouts, and the surrounding landscape. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. The sculpture is titled Fieldworks and is made from CORTEN steel, which is designed to rust on the surface, protecting the metal underneath and giving a warm, textured appearance. The three sections range from more than 20 to nearly 30 feet in length. The artist is Adam Kuby, based in Portland, Oregon. Adam creates landscape-based, environmentally responsive public art commissions and installations, both nationally and internationally, and is represented in the public collections of the cities of Seattle, Portland, Boulder, Vancouver, and others. His works are collaborations with the built and natural world that foster a sense of connectedness and explore how human and non-human ecologies can come into closer dialogue. Adam has been an artist in residence at multiple foundations. He has received awards from the Public Art Network and the American Society of Landscape Architects, and grants from the Ford Family Foundation and the Oregon Arts Commission. Adam's experience in landscape architecture, urban forestry, and zoo design informs his art practice and understanding of public space. He has worked at the Central Park Conservancy and the Bronx Zoo in New York. Adam studied environmental design at the University of Pennsylvania and sculpture at the University of North Carolina. Please help me give a warm welcome to artist Adam Kuby.
so glad to be back here. I missed it. I remember the first time I came here, I was just struck by the awesomeness of the High Plains, and just coming back and driving from Denver all the way here just reignited that inspiration and awe. So it's good to be back. I have a bunch of thank yous as well. I wanted to thank the college, to the administration, the Nebraska Arts Council, Daniel, who really shepherded this along the way, did a huge amount of coordination and hand-holding with me to make this happen, so thank you, as well as the committee members. I won't go through them because you already did. And also some of the faculty in Steve and Mike, and I'm forgetting one more person.
Matt.
Yes. For your help with the science and the botany and the interpretive side. Harold Mowry, who helped with construction coordination. Metal Arts Foundry in Salt Lake City, who did the fabrication. Jay Dubs for the foundations, and again, Jim Fitzgerald and the landscape crew. Thank you all. It's been a real pleasure to meet here with students and faculty over the last few years to learn about the fields of study happening in this building, and also the High Plains ecology, the paleontology, the geology, and the hydrology of the area. It's a very complex ecosystem, even though compared to someplace like Oregon with mountains and forests and big rivers. But there's a lot happening here, and it's more subtle, and it's kind of, a lot of it's underground, but it's just as complex, and it was really great to learn more about that. I realized as I was writing this that I'm remembering back to my own college courses. I was a double major in both art and environmental studies and geology. I love my art classes, using my creativity to make things and solve problems, but I also really love my science classes. And one of the things I specifically remember about those classes was the field trips we went on. To various sites, to look at plants, to dig down in the soil, to look at the hydrology. And so those field trips were some of my best memories of being an undergrad. And I think, now that I look back on it, I think I channeled that into this work, kind of bringing my interest in art and science and nature and the environment together. And my hope is that it will connect generations here who might be inspired by math and science and the natural world just outside your door, and also art as well. So thank you very much. I so appreciate the opportunity to make this work. And do we have questions? Do we have a Q&A?
We can certainly, yeah. If anybody has questions
If
about
anyone has
this,
questions, I'd love to chat more, but we also can just mill around and be informal and take a look at the artwork. And so,
Adam, I would ask if you could give us a sense of the three pieces and what you're achieving with the plant cutouts, the strata, and the bone cutouts.
sure. Well, after diving down into the science of the ecology here, I identified three areas that I thought were represented here in the building with the collections and the classes. And those three are botany, and I worked with Steve Rolfsmeyer and his class. We had a couple classes. Actually, we had one class where I got to talk with students, Steve and his students, gave gave me suggestions about plants that would be great to include in the artwork. And I think my question was, what are some of the most interesting, unique, rare plants, maybe endemic, maybe endangered, that would be good to include? So that was sculpture number one. And it was interesting. I went to the, there's a very in-depth online plant collection that has all of the collections digitized. So I was able to go online and download images and then make them into the cutouts. And so they really are exactly the cutouts from the digital plant collection here and other collections in the Midwest. So that's the plants. The hydrology one is the second one, and the Ogallala aquifer is a very important element in the Midwest. It's a huge aquifer underground that goes from Nebraska and South Dakota all the way down to Texas. It's being depleted by a lot of agriculture, and it's just a very important element to this region underground. And so I found a section of the geology in the aquifer, and I decided to take that cross-section, which is kind of a vertical cross-section, and stagger it out to go down the hillside. And then the last one is bones from paleontology sites, mostly from the Hudson-Meng site. And Mike helped me with finding some of the drawings in the collection here that I could use. So I digitized those, and then I took some pictures also at the Agate Fossil Beds when I was over there, digitized those, and so we have bones and water and plants. Or animals, water and plants. So, yeah.
Any other questions?
I'm curious about the sculpting, the actual metal work that goes into building
Oh, yeah,
structures.
absolutely. So I conceived it on the computer, online, not online, on my computer, did the design in a 3D modeling program, and then I sent that to the fabricators in Salt Lake City. They start out with flat sheets of CORTEN steel, and they were able to cut out the contour on top, and then the cutouts, and then they were able to take those flat sheets, which were in sections, and have a giant roller, and they're able to bend one curve at a time, and then they take the whole piece of metal, flip it up, and then they bend the opposite curve, and they have a big shop, and they drew the footprint of each sculpture on the floor of the shop, and they were able to take the bends and then put them down on the floor and say, oh, it needs to be a little bit more bent that way, and a little bit more, and they kept working back and forth until they had it the way they wanted, and then they welded the three pieces together.
Yeah.
So it was quite a process.
How much of the sculpture is underground?
Not very much. Somewhere between that and that. So when they cut out the sheets with a laser, we did a kind of an angle so we wouldn't be wasting a whole ton of metal underground. And also, then we'd have to have the footings way down, so the underground portion follows the contour. There was a lot of coordination.
Yes.
We had a bunch of elevations trying to make sure we had the contour of the slope as accurate as we could for the fabrication. So just some back and forth on that.
Yes, and we got it in the end.
Yeah, we did. We certainly tried. So, yeah. It was a fun project, so.
Well, if there are no other questions, we'll finish it up.
Right. Well, thank you, Adam, for being here today and for providing us a better understanding of what it took to get this particular piece of art here to Chadron State College. On behalf of the college, its faculty, staff, and students, we are honored to accept Fieldworks into our permanent art collection. I would also like to thank members of the campus who served on the art selection committee, as well as the maintenance and grounds employees who worked with Adam on the planning and installation of Fieldworks. It is a tremendous piece of art for our campus and looks very beautiful in this space. So thank you all for your contributions. Now I invite everyone to enjoy some refreshments, get to know Adam a little bit better. Thank you for joining us this morning.